Yeah. Oh yeah, I can see the participants. See if I can get the.
You can probably put your screen up if you wanted to.
Yeah. Hello everyone, thanks for joining. We'll get ready to start soon. Just give it maybe a few minutes. Ready to go. But yeah, we'll just wait a bit longer. Oh, I won't be able to see the account now. Still doing it. Right, don't worry about it. Yeah. Let's see, maybe just one more minute. Yeah, sure. And then whenever we're ready. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Okay, let's go. My name is Nicola. Hi. Hi, my name is Femi. And we are part of the student support team. And today we're going to go over a couple of things. First things first, about maybe our roles, learning accommodations, which are mainly known as reasonable adjustments in the UK, and other relevant information too. Please write down any questions that you have. You can write a message in the Q&A and we'll answer your questions at the end of the webinar. You can also send us an email with any of your questions. So, what is student support? Student support are here to provide some confidential, personalised information, advice, guidance, and support on anything that is affecting a student's ability to study and or affect their mental health and well-being. Our team mainly offer one-to-one appointments, answer queries through emails, and can be contacted through the student support telephone line. How can you access our services? So there's different ways you can access our services. The main common one would be to a one-to-one appointment, which you can book through Target Connect. We're also really flexible, where you can even contact us through the telephone. You can even have a Zoom call meeting if you want to, or you can see us face-to-face in person in our student support rooms based at Devon House as well. We also run our daily drop-in sessions as well from 1 to 2 p.m. at Devon House. There's no appointment that is actually needed for this either. You can just come by and see us. And if you have any general questions or queries or anything you're unsure about, you can drop us an email through our student support email, which is studentsupport@nulondon.ac.uk. So as at the beginning, we said that you met me and Femi. We are student wellbeing coordinators. We also have another student wellbeing coordinator, which is Katie. And what we mainly do is create learning support plans. We arrange exam and teaching adjustments, support all of our students with disabilities transitioning into higher education. We also support our students with their well-being in terms of if they're facing any personal problems, which could be impacting their studies, and assist with accessing to external support such as counselling and medical care too. So Matthew Irwin is our SPLD advisor, and he's able to offer study skill sessions on all academic skills. So that's academic writing, critical reading, critical thinking, exam skills, and he can offer sessions on more general topics as well. So time management, procrastination, and dealing with distraction.
Learning accommodations, which are known as reasonable adjustments in the UK. So learning support plans are for your studies at the NU London campus. They reflect the teaching and learning on the campus. They're subject to UK laws and academic standards, and the standard time for UK exams is 25% extra time. In-class adjustments are shared with teaching faculty, and exam adjustments are scheduled by timetabling. So students don't have to book exams with extra time. Most of you will have already sent your medical evidence and documentation. We will have learning accommodations in the Boston and Oakland campuses. So we already have access to this information, and you don't need to send your documents to us again. We hope to start sending learning support plans towards the end of December, maybe early January, but please feel free to send us an email if you prefer. The timelines LSPs, your LSP must be finalized 6 weeks prior to an assessment to use your reasonable exam adjustments. Timetabling schedules your exam with the correct time and room allocation. So the deadline to finalize your LSP for the midterms is January 15th, 2024. The deadline to finalize your LSP for finals week would be March 11th, 2024. Campus accessibility. So we have a level entrance to the building, and there are 4 lifts available for all areas of the building, but the doors are quite heavy and they're manually operated to gain access to the campus from the lifts. All core areas of the campus have accessible toilets and accessible hot and cold water drinking taps. In the campus hub, we also have a hearing loop system.
We also have 4 different residence halls based in London. That'll be IQ Aldgate, Chapter Aldgate, Chapter Spitalfields, and Chapter Old Street. With our 4 main accommodations, here will be Chapter Spitalfields, Chapter Aldgate, Chapter Old Street, and IQ Aldgate. They have studio rooms that are available. Whereas in Chapter Spitalfields, they offer 2-bed, 4-bed, and en-suite apartments. Just a few things to know about in terms of being in residence halls. Students are expected to buy, cook, prepare their own meals. You are expected to also try and manage your dietary requirements and allergies. All resident units have access to kitchen facilities, whether it's shared or private. And you also are provided with the basic kitchen and bedding. And one more thing, please try and make sure to bring a towel as well, with towels as well. Also in London, we have different grocery stores such as Tesco, Sainsbury's, Morrison's, Aldi, and Lidl. For those of you that might be gluten-free or vegan, we also have our free fund aisles in the grocery stores. We have grocery deliveries, and we also have kosher and halal items as well, and websites as well, if we ever need them to get anything from there. Have our pharmacy and drugstores such as Boots and Superdrug too. In terms of medications and healthcare, please make sure to check with your insurance provider to find your healthcare provider, and that covers pre-existing conditions before you travel. If you're needing more information about traveling or like insurance in terms of that, please make sure to look at the NU Global Safety and Support website. Check if you can travel with your medications on the UK government website, and make sure to consult with your pharmacist doctor. For medications that you are permitted to travel into the UK with up to a 3-month supply, please make sure to bring a proof of prescription. In terms of whether you're needing any extra support in terms of having therapists or counselling, it'd be great as well if you're still needing that connection to go through the Find at NU website as well. We also have our transport in London. So if you're needing to search different travel routes around in London, you can do this through the TfL Go app or the TfL Journey Planner, and see for any accessibility maps and guides also on our TfL website too. if you're wanting to stay in touch with us, which I'm sure you want to, we have different social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And again, as well, if you're needing to contact us about any queries or anything you're unsure about, especially in this webinar, we have our student support email, which is studentsupport@nulondon.ac.uk. So yeah, I think that's all we had to share to
Yeah,
you today.
thank you for listening. Shall we start with the Q&A?
Yeah, definitely.
Sure, I have some questions here. First one is, how am I able to continue my child's medical care for her mental health while in England? So I can take that one. So first we have Find at Northeastern, which is Northeastern University's 24/7 mental health support, where they can talk to they can talk to counselors live. There's a phone number as well as a website. The other resource we have, if you go to University Health and Counseling Services at Northeastern and go to resources, there's a tab called Resources by Location. And if you scroll down, London is there, and there's urgent care, medical, and mental health support in the local area that are active for students to utilize. Did I leave anything out, ladies?
I think you've
I
covered
think
it.
you've covered most.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay, this one is for one of you. What are the basic kitchen appliances that will be provided?
So should I go back to maybe, because I think there was some more information. Have you got it up?
Yes, so there's a kitchen pack. I'm not exactly sure what's provided, but what I'll do is I'll just copy and paste the link to someone who you can ask. This would be Jess, most likely. See the Res Life team.
And actually, also to add to this too, if you have any further questions about accommodation, like in halls, you can contact our residential life team at any time, because then they can provide you the further advice and information around what's in halls and what you might be expecting when you actually come to London as well.
There you go.
All right. The next question. So this student says, well, I don't know if it's a student. The attendee says, hi, I don't know if this will be addressed later, but I have a separate testing room accommodation and was wondering if there'll be a building or a room that tests are typically taken in, like how the Boston campus does it. So this would be the reduced distraction or the private room accommodation. So one of you could answer that one.
Yes. So we do have an adjustment to have a separate room. We have just quite a few separate smaller rooms across the campus. So if you were taking a test, it would be on the campus.
Great. All right, this is another one for both of you. Is Chapter Spitalfields the only 2 or 4 bed residence? So I think what they mean are the other ones only single rooms. Is that how it works?
I believe so. Yes.
Yes.
But I will give you the email address to ask Res Life team about that.
Okay. All right. And then my student has housing accommodations through Northeastern. He has requested to continue rooming with his current roommate, now in Boston, when in London. The roommate helps support him. Will this request be honored as it was in Boston?
It's a question definitely for the Res Life team, but I'd suggest that you send us an email to student support at nulondon.ac.uk so we can have a look and give a more thorough answer.
Yeah, that one's going to require more individual attention. So yeah, so it's student support at nulondon.ac.uk. Alrighty, where am I? Oh, do you have photos of different accommodations? Meaning, I think this means housing accommodations, right? Accommodations is the UK word.
So I can give you a link to a website which has some more information and pictures about all the different accommodations. So, Nicola found this yesterday. It's
Yeah.
brilliant.
Oh, great, perfect.
Okay. There you go.
Okay. That's all the questions that we have in the box in the Q&A. Oh, wait a minute, one just popped up. Oh, thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Why don't we wait another minute, see if any more questions pop up, and then I can do the closing. for
Yeah.
everybody.
Okay.
While we're waiting for any other questions to pop up, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Mary Barrows. I am the Senior Director for Global Learning and Student Strategies and Success. I travel to London often and get to work with these ladies as well as many other really nice people over there. And I've been doing it for about 5 years. So we've had some tremendous change. We've gone from one side of London, now we're at the St. Catherine's Docks, 2 beautiful modern buildings, classroom buildings, and then administrative offices and student support area. So I think your students are in, and if there's students on the call, you're in for a great experience. Oh, we got a couple more questions. Is bedding provided? We said yes, but they had to bring towels, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so yes, bedding is provided, but do bring towels. If you requested a roommates, is that typically honored if it is reciprocated? I think we answered that one earlier with, didn't you put the link to Residence Life for that one?
Yeah. Yeah, and I can provide it again.
Okay, where can I find a therapist to prescribe my son's medication for ADHD while he is in London? He can only go with a 30-day supply. There is, if you go to our Global Safety and Travel Office website on the Northeastern website, there's a great amount of information about traveling with medications in different countries and how to do that. If that is not specific enough, please contact the Office of Student Support, and we can work on some more specific answers that may help you. Are accommodations already granted in Boston automatically granted in London? My son has time and a half on exams, among other things. You want to take that one?
Sure. So I'd recommend that you send us an email and we'll just have a look at your documentation, medical evidence, and give you like a better and more thorough answer. It really depends, really a case-by-case basis, and it's individual to each person.
And that's what we're doing at all the sites. So as the global scholars are switching sites, students who had accommodations on one campus, the receiving campus is also doing a quick review in terms of what we're able to offer. So it's more of a specific answer that you'll need. So send an email to student support at nulondon.ac.uk, and they will be happy to take a look at that for you. No need, as they explained before, there is no need to submit any new documentation to London. London, Oakland, and Boston are all on the same database. So unless there is a change in the condition or disability, or a new disability has been diagnosed, you don't have to submit anything new. Okay, while the student support office and counseling offices be open on 1/8 and 1/9, I'd like to schedule time to visit with my student while in London to assure that he can navigate the system. So that's January 8th and 9th. Are your offices open?
Yes, we're open. Well, we're all back on the 2nd of January.
So is that the weekend though, 1/8 and 1/9?
If it's the weekend, then it would be closed. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So the first is a Monday. So 1 and 7 is 8 and 9. So that's Monday and Tuesday the following week. That's the week classes begin, right?
Yeah.
for you guys. It could be Boston, that's the week classes begin. Okay. So yes, the short answer to that question is yes, they will be open. Can we still request ground transportation on January 8th at the airport? We will fly on our own. That's gonna have to be a geo question. Oh, Jake's here. Jake from our
Hi.
Global Experience Office.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jake Goldblum, the Associate Director for Global Network Pathway Programs, working with London. So there have been a couple questions about residence life and housing and things like that. So if you have questions specifically about those pieces, you should reach out to the Res Life team, and they get back to you very quickly about, about your roommate requests, about any accommodation needs, or housing needs, as we would say in the US. So I would reach out to them about those pieces. Ground transportation, I'll put the email that you can reach out to, but Student Life coordinates that, the Student Life team. And so they're currently working on that. So if you didn't indicate that you want to be on ground transportation, you can send them an email, and then and they can let you know whether or not that can be accommodated. And I can put that in the in a response here.
Jake, there's another one too. It says, I sent an email on November 1st asking about transportation to the Global Scholars email and never got a response. So I don't know if you can see the Q&A.
Yep. Yeah. So the Global Scholars email, the direct email is to our customer service team. So if students reach out to the Student Life at London email, that goes directly to the Student Life team that coordinates the process. So students should reach out, and they'll be able to assist with any questions regarding ground transportation for January. So I'll put that, I'll see if we can put that in the chat here, but it's Student Life that helps facilitate that.
And we have another question about documentation. So my understanding is that Boston sent our disability info directly to London. Is that correct? Or does my student need to initiate the process? So the students, Boston didn't send anything to London. We're all on the same database. So London has access to the same information that Boston does and Oakland does in terms of students' disability accommodations and their documentation. So if your student has any questions and they want to reach out to the team, you can. But as Nicholas said at the beginning, they're going to be working on the LSPs, the learning plans, hopefully by the end of December, and they will be sending emails to the students. Did I miss anything on that one?
No,
Okay.
Perfect
correct,
answer.
And there have been a lot of different places we're supposed to send emails for a lot of different things, period. Is there some comprehensive list of email addresses where we need to send information or questions to various people or departments?
So I can take that one. So we did recently host webinars for the transition that's happening. We'll be sending out those recordings if people weren't able to attend. And so that should have a majority of the information that you need as far as contacts are concerned. And we're going to be sending up a follow-up email with the recording, but also with some additional information about contacts and about just key information that students and families need to know. So we're going to send that out hopefully by the end of this week, but then we're also going to be sending out a know before you go email, which is going to be sent out in December before students make the transition. So there will be at least 2 more communications specifically from the program, but then also students should be on the lookout for some outreach from London directly about a few different pieces like ground transportation accommodations. I see a question here about housing assignments. So early December is what we're saying for housing assignments. Yep. And again, please do check your emails towards the end of this week for that recording for the webinar, because that does have a lot of this other information in it.
Can you send the past webinar recordings to the parents as well? Jake, my understanding is they're all going to the parents and the students, right?
Yep, pretty much all of our communications via our admissions team go to students and families, as long as families are, their emails are included. Yep. So, yep.
That looks like the last question. Let me just make sure. I'll go out and I'll go back in. No, I think we have one more. Just want to confirm that there's no one place to look to get all these emails, something written. Yeah, so that'll be included in the 2 communications that Jake just mentioned that will be going out, correct?
Yep. So there'll be yes, there will be different ways to access the information. We're sending out the slides to the webinar, which has that information. We're sending out the webinar itself, the recording, so people have that. But then also there will be an email that we crafted that has, some of the key points for people to check out. So just be on the lookout for that. And then students should also be on the lookout for the Know Before You Go email, which will be in December, which is closer to the transition, which has some more specific information.
Where to find the recordings, including some prior meetings. So that, again, that'll be the same. You'll receive the slides, you'll receive a recording of this webinar and the other webinars, the general Welcome to the City webinar. And there will be the communications that go out, very important one in December, which is what you need to know before you go. So the students receive that, but the parents will receive copies of the webinars, the slides, and both webinars, this set, and then the one that was done last week as well. Okay, it looks like we've come to the end of our webinar. On behalf of Northeastern University and NU London, I just want to thank you all for coming. I hope we've answered your questions. If we have not, you do have email contacts right up here on the screen. The last slide is the student support at nulondon.ac.uk. And I meet with the London support team every Wednesday morning, afternoon for them. So if there's anything that we need to coordinate for you, we will be happy to do that. So we will see you in London in January. Bye.
Thank you.